Hello, this is Mercury Rises from Clash of Empire, also called Last Land. And I was just doing some Path Awakening. Jack had done a few levels for me. That was very nice. And so I thought I would do, do this for a little bit and talk. So I hope you don't mind, but it's close to 10 minutes. And if you need some coffee or something, I wanted to cover a little bit more of new player advice. And I get asked on occasion, not too often, is what are some of the best things in the beginning of your game that people told you that either stuck with you or maybe that you wish they would have told you. Well, one of the things that I didn't know was just how international it is. And one of the best things that has come from being in the game for 2.5 years, over 2.5 years, is that I've met a lot of great people. And even though I have to translate a lot, and sometimes the translator is very broken, there are a lot of really great international people in the game. And I live in the U.S., small town America, and would not meet these just very wonderful people of these different cultures if it wasn't for the game. And so that's one thing that if there's something that you want to learn about culture and stuff, stay in the game for a long time. You'll come across a lot of things. But more game related is one thing that somebody told me was trust no one. Now, I always think the best of people, and this is just a game, but it's a strategy game. So everybody kind of has their angle and how they play the game, their style. But I was told to trust no one, which I think is a bit extreme. Say, of course, if you have real friends, or not real friends, but real life friends that also play in the game, then you might be able to trust them, of course. It's just a game, right? But it is a competition, and some people are a little bit more competitive than others. So, but the player that had told me to trust no one had just come to visit me today, actually, in my kingdom. I made a little C7 just to come say hello, and that he'd been out of the game for a while, and he was going to a new kingdom. So, we'll see how that goes for him. I'm sure he'll come let me know how it goes. So, to trust no one. So, you do have to trust to some extent in order to work together as a team and to form alliances. And, everybody has kind of their game morals, should I say. And then you just kind of find the friends that have the same game morals as you do or have the same goals that you do, that kind of thing. Now, another thing that I was told is not to get close to people in the game. There's a few good reasons for that. I'm sure that you probably can deduce for yourself. But getting close to people in the game is a bit dangerous because one day you can be friends and the next day you're enemies. And one day you're playing together in an alliance and the next day you've migrated to another kingdom and you're playing against them in Throne. Now the biggest thing I would say is that respect for the players, whether it is your allies or whether it is your enemy, respect for the players in general, that is the biggest advice I would give as an older player, is to just be respectful of people. These are human beings. This is just a game, okay? A lot of people like to do smack talk, and I'm not really great at smack talk, but if I've tried my hand at it a couple times, and there are just some people that are really good at it. Some people who really kind of like push it and cross the line. And remember, people are just they're just smack talking. It's, almost never personal. Okay. So if you're on Kingdom Chat and making fun of somebody or mocking somebody for being a noob or doing, making a noob move and things like that, but try to be respectful. It's just makes your game a lot better this way. And some people do like to get on the game, and that is kind of one of their, you know, um, the funnest things for them is to start dogging people on the game. Try to be respectful, right? It's just a nice thing to do. And we all, will possibly see each other in the game, whether it be in competition or whether it is during migration when you're going to be with some of those people that you were against as well, possibly. So I've had that happen a few times, actually. But getting close to people is kind of dangerous. You want to have friends. You want to have allies. You want to have, maybe some similar game values and things like that to where you can meet your goals. But at the end of the day, people come and go. They sell. They go to another kingdom. They go to a new kingdom. They quit the game. Things like that. So, the one thing, another thing that people did not tell me. Now, I was told people get a little emotional. Okay, they've worked hard on their pixelated setup, right? So they don't really want their work destroyed. But you can always get it back. It's just the way it is, the way the game works. And a lot of times, even if you get 0, you can still kind of reap a lot of rewards from that. But emotions can run high, and the game should be fun. If the game is not fun for you, then it's probably not the game for you. But whatever you're doing in your game, make it fun. Now, I have always said that there are not that many consistencies in the game. The only constants, and there aren't any constants in the game. Friends come and go, like I said. So when I'm playing, what I'm thinking of is how can I improve my game? How can I do better? How can I build better? How can I build more efficiently? How can I fight better? How can I set up, my march better? Things like that. So I'm always trying to improve my game, and I'm always wanting to be with people who are also doing that same thing, that they're also trying to improve their game. So that's really like the number one thing that I always tell people is that work on your game, because there are no constants in the game except for you are the constant on your game, and you are the one working as hard as you are working, and you are the one learning the stuff that you need to learn. So that is the really only constant I have found. Friends are not constant, like I just explained. Your rank is not constant. Migration is going to be coming up next month. Your money is not constant. So you can't necessarily depend on friends, and you can't necessarily depend on rank and power, because you could be 0 tomorrow as well. Say you didn't, you got yourself and dropped your shield during war or something like that. So the only constant that I have found in the game is just to keep on working on your game. Keep on learning, keep on experimenting, keep on testing, keep on asking questions, and, and sometimes you do need to check things when you ask questions, because there are people who will sabotage you. The only time I've really totally come across that was in the very beginning of my game before I moved to my actual kingdom. I believe sabotage was in order there. So, anyway, thank you and have a nice day.